Sid, who I want to tell you is one bad dude. Yeah. And I know there's a lot of heat between you guys.
A lot of heat between
in Wisconsin, Omar is on the line now. Omar, do you want to talk about wrestling or talk about the Green Bay Packers?
Wrestling.
Okay.
Shawn Michaels, are you ever going to leave the WWF and go to the WCW?
Nah, I don't think so. I mean, of course, you're never supposed to say never in this line of work, but I'm comfortable where I'm at. I mean, the outlook that the WWF has on our business today and mine are the same, and I can't say that's the same for the other group. So I'm happy where I'm at. I'd like to see this through. I'd like to be one of the few guys that you know, sticks around and gives back to the company that has given him so much. You know, there aren't a whole lot of guys that do that in our line of work, and I'd like to do it. Bret Hart has obviously made that you know, that choice, which I think is great, and I'd just like to follow in his footsteps. I think there's some of us that believe the WWF has been very kind to us, and we'd like to, you know, someday be able to give something back.
Let's talk about the World Wrestling Federation and the ongoing war with Ted Turner and World Championship Wrestling, a war that obviously has been very expensive and has fattened the wallets of a number of prominent professional wrestlers. Hollywood Hulk Hogan, the conversion from babyface to heel. Is Joe Fan, is the ticket-buying public buying the new persona of Hulk Hogan?
Well, I don't know if in the last couple of years they were buying any persona he's been putting forward. And with all due respect to him, it's just because our business finally, you know, is starting to evolve. People are accepting the fact that just like in every other line of work or sports franchise, that you know, the younger athletes are going to come up and they're going to get better, and they will start to steal the spotlight. And that's finally what's happened. A number of wrestlers from years ago have stuck around and have tried to hold on to what they once were. But time takes its toll on everybody, and that's not to take away from those guys. Doesn't mean they don't have something great to give to the business, but none of them seem to want to give back. So they're still in a position to where they want to take, and they don't really have the ability to be taking anymore. I think it's probably time for them to make the decision to, if they're going to continue to be around this line of work, they should start to do it in a different capacity.
You still being checked for steroids a couple of times a week?
Yeah, well, I think, I don't know about a couple times a week. The policy is still there. You never know what, you know, it could be a couple times a week, it could be none for a week, and then 3 the next week. It's a random.
Do you ever find that demeaning?
Given the past and with everything that the WWF has been up against in the past, and who knows in the future, I don't, because it's just one of those things where you have to prove to people, you know, and even though I don't think we're in a position where we should have to, because it wasn't my generation that got in trouble for all this, it was another generation, and we're sort of paying the price for it. But if that's what it takes to get a clean slate with everybody, then that's fine. I mean, it doesn't really affect me anyway. I mean, I was never of that genre in the first place, and I'm obviously not now. So,
all right, let's continue in New York. John is on the line. John, my friend, fly off the top rope.
How you doing, Chet?
Great, thank you.
How you doing, Shawn?
Very good.
I just want to ask you about the violence with the guns and also the sex in the past couple of years with the WWF.
The violence with the gun, I'm guessing, as I heard about it, I was on the road, I'm guessing he's talking about Brian Pillman, Stone Cold Steve Austin, or one of the guys pulled out a gun. Well, you know, we were talking about this earlier, and there are a lot of traditions in wrestling that, you know, we used to never do, and nowadays I don't know what's right and what's wrong. I mean, 6 months ago, if you'd asked me, I'd have said no. I think it's a little much. But now, it seems to be no holds barred with everything that's going on in the Monday Night Wars and you know, the battle between the two organizations. I don't know if there is sacred ground anymore. And you know, the gloves have come off, and I think just about anything is a go, especially on pay-per-view and on cable. I think you'll find a different look on our syndicated shows or our Saturday morning shows. But when it comes to the Monday night cable show and pay-per-view, just about anything's possible. And people don't seem to be turned off by it. They may comment on it, but they don't get turned off by it. and it creates interest. So it's hard for me to decide what's right, what's wrong anymore.
If someone were to walk up to you and say, with all due respect, Mr. Michaels, you're not an athlete. You are a cartoon character. The World Wrestling Federation, WCW, is composed of cartoon characters who, in fact, are not really athletes. How would you respond?
Well, I mean, it's something that you get used to hearing. But I'm not a cartoon. I mean, I'm far from a cartoon. I'm a working human being. But I would ask the guy, what exactly he'd like me to do, to try to change his mind. I'll put myself, my schedule, my training regimen, anything that makes up who I am as an athlete, what I feel I am as an athlete, I will put up against any other athlete doing anything else. I can pretty much guarantee anybody I'm as in good a physical condition as any athlete they see on Sunday afternoon. Easy.
We are back in a moment. We continue. Lines open. 1-800-8. Shawn, your forehead, you can see where there is legitimate scar tissue. Is that called paying the price to get where you are today?
I think so. I mean, I hope so, because I obviously paid it. So.
How many years did you spend in this business before you saw what we might call real money?
I would say I was going on, 8, 9 years, I guess? 8 or 9. Because I would say for about the last 4 have been...
Lucrative?
Yeah. I mean, and not to imply that, get the guy at my age at the time that I wasn't doing well. Mm-hmm. But before you started to realize, oh, okay, I can now do this, and unless I'm a complete idiot, I cannot have to do anything, after 5 more years. At 35 or 36, I can possibly look at not having to, do anything.
Play golf the rest of your life.
Hopefully.
Sounds like a great way to go. Find me a job like that, will you? Let's go back on the phone lines. In Kentucky, Danny is on the line. Danny, my friend, go ahead, put the ball in play.
Yeah, Shawn.
Yo.
I want to find out something. You was wrestling one night and you passed out in the ring or something, and people tried to make you come to, and they couldn't. I want to find out what happened that night.
That was after I had a concussion, and I got back in the ring a little soon and was having little spells here and there, and then I had one on nationwide TV.
Growing up, and you come from a wrestling background, but who were the wrestlers you admired, and when did you realize that, by gosh, this is what I'm going to do for a living?
Well,
did you ever contemplate anything else?
Not really. No, I mean, when I graduated high school, I was...
mayor of San Antonio?
No, never anything like that, not at all. The only other thing I ever considered doing was playing football. And the minute I got this wrestling bug, the football, I continued to play, but it took a back seat. I was always focused towards doing this. It was just trying to figure out how in the world I get the ball started. Where do I go? What direction do I need to go to do it? And I didn't have any answers. Nobody knew how these guys got in this line of work. Most of them, it was through family or friends or whatever. And I was sort of on the outside looking in. And that was the hardest part, was trying to find somebody to pay attention to me long enough to realize that it is something that I wanted to do.
The Macho Man, Randy Savage, a guy who, once again, has been a great friend of this program, a guy who I've known for a number of years, going back to my days in Chicago. You've heard the talk, of course, in wrestling circles, that Randy Savage indeed is going to rejoin Vince McMahon and the World Wrestling Federation. Would you welcome that?
Oh, sure. I think everybody would. And as I said earlier, you never say never in this line of work, because anything can happen. And Randy will always be a huge part of this business. He was there when the World Wrestling Federation was on top, and he's left, and we're back on top again. And for all what I think are the right reasons, if he came back, I think it would be good. There's always a place for Randy Savage.
Well, let's be hypothetical. Additionally, if the Macho Man were to come back as a so-called heel or a villain, wouldn't the attraction of Shawn Michaels versus Randy Savage provide legitimate box office?
I'd like to think so. I think it would, because you have a story there of the World Wrestling Federation and its prime in the mid 80s, and now the World Wrestling Federation, 10 years later, back on top, and this man who was a legitimate part of, the reason it thrived in the first place, and this, I guess the new kid on the block, or whatever it is people refer to me as now. It would certainly be a chance for a passing of the torch, or passing it back if I lost to him. But yeah, I think people would want to see that, and I know I would. I'd love to be a part of it.
All right, let's skip back on the dance floor in Florida. Angel is on the line. Angel or Aniel, whatever the case may be. Go right ahead, my friend.
Hey, what's up, Shawn?
How you doing?
Yeah, I was just wondering, like, before we reach the year 2000, can you ever perceive, or has any thought have come across your mind of us wrestling fans, maybe somewhere down the road, seeing the best competitors of the WWF taking on WCW in like a mega pay-per-view event?
Well, I tell you, that question's been asked, and I think if you got the athletes, the superstars, I don't think we'd have a problem with it, and it's very amusing because the business, for the first time that I've been around, the 12 years I've been around, is very good for those of us that are in it. It might not. It's good for the promoters, and it's tough because there's this war going on, and they have to fight each other because everybody wants control. But for us, it's the best it's been for the 12 years I've been in it. It's the wrestler's market, right?
If Ted Turner were to walk in right now with Eric Bischoff, his front man for World Championship Wrestling, why would you tell them that indeed the World Wrestling Federation provides Joe Fan with a better bang for the buck than WCW and the so-called NWO?
Well, NWO, regardless of that, we're talking about WCW as a whole, because that's what they all are. NWO, WCW, they're all the same. It's not like there's a real conflict going on there. But the World Wrestling Federation caters to its fans, and whether they want to say they do or not, they don't. They cater to them. They cater to the wrestlers. And Vince McMahon has a way of getting us to perform at a level that those guys, they won't perform at anymore. And for us, there's still a good-natured and a healthy competitiveness to the World Wrestling Federation. I'm the World Wrestling Federation champion because I've earned it, because I work harder than everybody else. Bret Hart was the World Wrestling Federation champion because he earned it, because he worked harder than everybody else. The guys that are on top of the World Wrestling Federation, those are the guys, that bust their butts all the time. They've earned a shot at being superstars in the World Wrestling Federation, and a long time ago, that didn't happen. Guys were there for different reasons. The guys that are in control of the World Wrestling Federation now, the superstars that are making things happen, are guys that have earned it and have paid their dues down the line. There, they don't do that. It's more of a political scene down there than it is here at the World Wrestling Federation.
By the way, the Hitman Bret Hart will hop back on the tights for the first time in about 7 or 8 months this Sunday in the Survivor Series at Madison Square Garden, facing tough guy Stone Cold Steve Austin. Don't forget, the World Wrestling Federation on a pay-per-view basis. The Survivor Series live on pay-per-view from Madison Square Garden this Sunday, November 17th. In the main event, Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels head-to-head against his former bodyguard and buddy next door, Psycho Sid. Champ, you're a 7.5-point favorite. Should I go ahead and give?
Oh, yeah, you couldn't? Bet the house on me.
All right, Mr. Mondry, you have me confused right now. Are we advancing toward our next segment? All right. Let's go to the phones one more time. In Wisconsin, Cindy is on the line. Cindy, the Heartbreak Kid is all yours.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Just fine. How are you?
I love watching you on TV. I think you're great, and I'd like to know what's next now that you've won this belt.
Well, what's next, I guess, is to just try to continue to be consistent. Staying the World Wrestling Federation champion is just as hard as, trying to get to be the WWF champion. But for me right now, it's to just continue to try to do well, put the best effort forward that I can. Hope that the fans continue to enjoy what I'm doing, come out and see it, and that the whole World Wrestling Federation as a whole continues to thrive and do well. And anything else that comes along with it has been gravy. The Baywatch stuff, the Playgirl stuff, all that stuff it's been a blast. But I have to focus on.
Quickly, you ever worry about the natural process of Father Time? I mean, the boy toy character, the youthful character, you've got to remain contemporary. Do you worry about life at the age of 40?
No, I don't worry about it at all. I look forward to it, but I don't think I won't continue to come out here and try to tell people I'm the Heartbreak Kid at 40 years old. I might do it till the time I'm 35.
Never say never. Mick Jagger said he would never sing Satisfaction after the age of 30. All right, put him up, big guy.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. He was much tougher than I thought he was. Much tougher. Much tougher. But the champ always has to get put on the end.
Sunday.
Thank you very much.
Knock 'em dead.
I'll do my best.
I know a little 7-year-old boy by the name of Tyler Coppock is going to be ringside with that bout, and if you let him down, I mean, your name will be absolute dirt in the Coppock house.
Have patience with me, Tyler, please. Come on.
We thank the boy toy, Shawn Michaels. Don't forget, once again, the WWF on a pay-per-view basis this Sunday. Jay Androni.